never been knocked down as a pro. You did it twice in this finish. What was the key to finally breaking him down?
I don't know. You know, this question is for my team, for my coach. They were the hungry, you know. They know that. I don't know. I just follow that.
What we do know is that Dimitri Bivol holds the only other belt at 175 pounds. Is that the fight that you want next?
Yes, of course. I need another 4-12.
What would becoming undisputed champion mean to Artur Beterbiev? When? No, what would it mean?
It's been like in this category, I have done work, you know, in this category. It for me like a lot of, you know, absolute watcher, unification watcher benefits.
Well, congratulations on this win, Bob. The question for you is, Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev for undisputed. Is it the
Yeah, no, it's not done yet, but absolutely, we want to do it. I'll be talking to my friend, His Excellency, right? Al-Sheikh, and Turkey Al-Sheikh. I know he wants to do it, but Ramadan is coming, so Ramadan ends sometime in the middle of April, so about 3 months after the end of Ramadan, we'll be ready to fight Bivol, probably in Riyadh.
That's a fight that everyone wants to see. What message you want to send to all the men who came out to see you in Quebec?
Can I send something for fun? Nossa, Joe Sila, Ahmad Sila, Revenge Joe. Dalam Demo,
Thank you very much. With the still champion, triple unified, Artur Beterbiev, guys.
Merci Quebec. Merci Quebec.
Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to the post-fight show with Stormy B Man for this Saturday, January 13th, 2024. This is the post-fight show for Beterbiev versus Smith. The fight just wrapped up where we saw Artur Beterbiev with the 7th round KO over Callum Smith to defend his WBC, WBO, and IBF light heavyweight titles, and setting up the stage for a possible showdown for undisputed with Dimitri Bivol sometime in 2024 for Bivol's WBA light heavyweight title to be on the line. The possibilities of yet and still another undisputed champion, as these fights have been coming together like this over the past couple of years, undisputed matches with the best fighting the best. We couldn't ask for more. Welcome everybody. I hope that you have had a wonderful Saturday evening of fights. I had a chance to catch these fights on ESPN from the opening undercard matches all the way through the main event. Found it to be very entertaining, but I didn't invest in the cards until the ladies of boxing showed up, and at that point, that's when I began to really take note of what I was watching. But salute to everybody out there. Let's see who we got in the building as we get ready to kick this show off this evening. I hope that some of you have had a chance to see my video breakdown on this fight, because I kind of gave my foretelling of what I thought would take place. It says that we have had almost, somewhere over 500 and some views on that video. And I did favor Artur Beterbiev's chances to defend his title successfully. No angst or anything toward Mr. Smith, but as it's often been said by many people, there are levels to this. And some people have dismissed Mr. Beterbiev's abilities, his skill set, and his ring IQ in his career. And something else that they are very dismissive of is that he is an actual throwback to fighters from a past gone era. Men like him were sprinkled throughout the sport in a different age, which is why you had such classics. There are not enough of these type of fighters sprinkled through today's era of boxing, which is another reason that you don't get the fights that you always crave. It is something to be acknowledged, but at the same time, this is not a criticism of the circumstance, just an acknowledgement of what the circumstances are. This man is special. He has been the entire time. He has an outstanding background in the amateurs with the experience of having fought almost all the type of styles that he'll face in the pros. But yet and still, with only 19, now 20 fights as a professional, I see him executing the experience factor like many other fighters are not able to do. When I watch Artur Beterbiev do what he does, it reminds me of legendary fighters like a Julio Cesar Chavez, who goes about his work in a workmanlike fashion and can break opponents down and turn the tide of a fight by raising the intensity level with footwork, getting in position, punch placement, and a determination to provide an acute separation between themselves and their challengers. I've seen this so many times before with other champions, and we have a man in Artur Beterbiev who's doing the exact same thing. Let's see who we got in the chat in the building this evening. Stephen L. is out there saying Beterbiev showed up. And how are you, Sensei? Hanging on, bro. Hanging on. Tony G says the man's a beast. Universal Truth is out there saying salute, Stormy, and the chat, fam. T. Berry is back with us saying Beterbiev beating everybody at 75 after undisputed. Time for him to move up or retire. Dude's a monster. Drew Titan LLC is in the building saying General Zod 20 and 20. Wow. Yeah. T. Berry says peace, Stormy, and chat. Messenger 215 is out there saying salute to the channel and chat. Antonio MMA is in the building saying salute, Sensei. What's good with you? Salute. Ratchet since 91 is out there. Hen Dog says salute, Stormy and the fam. General Zod did his thing. Isaiah GQ in the building saying that's me, General Zod, walking through. T. Berry says it's cold in the shy, but I gotta get this money. Yes, sir. It is freezing out here. We finally dipped down below freezing, and it's no fun, I'm telling you. Antonio says, I don't know what people thought was going to happen to Callum Smith. Is nowhere better than Alexander Gavaskik. Alexander Gavaskik, before fighting Artur Beterbiev, would have smoked Callum Smith too. That's how good Alexander Gavaskik was. Yes. Jimmy Bernard says, salute, Sensei. What's good, chat? Smash the like button. Stephen L. says he got knocked down tonight by General Zar Beterbiev. Silvestral's back. What's happening? He says Beterbiev didn't even break a sweat in there tonight. He's a different breed. Yeah, he is. B-Mac is out there. What's good with you, man? Macadus Mac of the South in the building saying salute to the Grandmaster Stormy. Antonio says, man, and Billy is a brutal inside fighter. Yes, he is. I told you, if you could shrink Ika Biabuchi down to super middleweight, that's what you see in Christian and Billy. Chi-Town's finest is in here tonight. What's good with you, Chi-Town? Good to see you, man. Long time. Universal was offering that Maloney and Sanchez was a banger. It sure was. I actually had him winning Sanchez. Sanchez pulled that fight out with that effort in that 12th round, man. I'm sorry. It was a close fight, but I had Sanchez. Jeff Spark, what's happening with you? I see you. And Shaw was in the building saying, Shalom, Sensei. Shalom, chat. Great fights. She says 9 likes short. Yeah. 704 Joe just popped in the building saying peace. What's good with you? Listen, man. I know that people like who they like. I know that fighters will get support. Sometimes it has a lot to do with national pride, and a lot of times country pride, all of that kind of stuff. But I know a pretty damn good fighter when I see him. And I noticed Artur Beterbiev several years ago, and I said to myself, what type of destruct and destroy machine is this? He was all of that and then some. And I was totally convinced when in his fight against Joe Smith Jr., Joe Smith decided to show his warrior spirit and roll the dice and go out there and attack Beterbiev, who has the reputation of breaking fighters down over the course of rounds. He's not a seek and destroy type fighter to get you out of there in a couple of rounds. He's not that guy. But the way he fights, he puts on the pressure. He assesses where your strengths are and looks to land certain shots against you. And then he begins to turn up the intensity. He's workmanlike, but he's patient at the same time. So when Joe Smith rolled the dice and ran out there, kind of reminded me of like when Peter McNeely ran out against Mike Tyson in their fight. Like throwing caution into the wind, and I'm going to get him. Get my ass whooped as fast as possible. I noticed that Artur used certain types of footwork to dance and dart around Joe Smith to make him ineffective, like a matador with a bull. And in between his movements and using Smith Jr.'s strengths against him, he was placing shots that were damaging and painful. Liver shots, shots to the floating rib, and solar plexus. Not looking to land upside the head right away, but he has this chopping right hand, which was on display tonight. And then he chops on the chin too. And the moment he began to nail Smith Jr. in that fight, the fight was pretty much over. 2 rounds. But that was Smith's fault because he did not come in and check the temperature first. He rolled the dice and he crapped out. In this fight tonight, Callum had a false sense of confidence. For some reason, he thought that he was a bigger puncher, that he could get to Arthur and have a chance to stop Arthur. How wrong that calculation was. His best bet would have been to try to box, pick, move, tie the guy up, walk him backwards, stay off the ropes. He did none of that, and he was near the ropes all the time. In fact, early in the fight, he took unnecessary damage early in the round of the first, near the triangle, the very place that I claim to be dead man's land, against one of the deadliest fighters in the sport. It was a ridiculous strategy, and as you saw, by the time this fight ended, Smith's face was battered. I never saw the ref throw a punch. This performance is just another wrinkle in the pages of Artur Beterbiev's story that it's going to take more than punching power. It's going to take more than a warrior spirit. You're going to have some skills to defeat this man. But you're also going to have the resolve to go the distance with this man. Because after 3 rounds, it was obvious what he was going to do. It was just a matter of time. This is a fighter who is never in a hurry to do what he does. But he knows what he's capable of, and he implements his plan early. There have been a number of legendary fighters from history who do the same. Marvelous Marvin Hagler was a similar type fighter. He would break you down systematically. He wasn't in a hurry. Marvin would get in there, and before you know it, he was stopping people. It wasn't 1 or 2 rounds like that. It was systematic. But the systematic approach, believe it or not, puts more mental pressure on fighters than anything, because guys don't like to work. You see it in the fact that you have so many fighters now who cheat. See, to go in there and live the life of a fighter, to prepare yourself for war, to condition your mind and your spirit, and raise the level of your resolve to compete come what may. Cuts, swollen eyes, injuries, all of these things fighters have to prepare themselves for, because you could have any of all of these things happen. Artur Beterbiev is one of those guys that prepare like that, like a haggler, like a Chavez. And they sometimes make it look easy when they go about their craft. I don't know what Callum Smith saw. I really don't. As I listened to some of the guys who were critiquing the boxing, and they were breaking down this fight, some of the, the names, Paulie Malignaggi and Chris Algieri and Teddy Atlas, all the names, these guys, as I listened to them talk about this fight, some of them, especially Chris Algieri, and I'm sorry, but he was like really pulling for Callum. Like, I could really see this upset happening. Tim Bradley was trying to sell the fight as such, but boy, after one round, his commentary changed angles quickly. There's a reason why a lot of people don't like milk duds, huh? Yeah. Anyway, Artur Beterbiev has an arsenal of punches that are so varied and precise that sometimes you don't know what direction the heat is coming from. Up jabs, uppercuts, looping shots, chopping shots, straight shots, counter shots. Shotgun jab. Impressive. Going back to the chat. Flawless Mentality and Black Excellence, hosted by Dr. Mark, is in the building. What's good with you, Dr. Mark? Shawalaya says methodical. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sylvester is offering that Beterbiev will destroy Bivol. Yes, he will. Sylvester is asking, who should Parker fight next? Did you not watch my video? I did a video earlier in the week, Sylvester. This was Artur Beterbiev and Callum Smith night. And you asking me about Joseph Parker? Wow. Focus up. T-Berry says, this is the first time I seen Billy. He a good fight for anybody at 68. And Billy is something else, man. Spry, full of energy, fast, quick, aggressive, not afraid of contact. Adewale M is out there saying, greetings, Stormy B, man. Greetings to you. Jimmy Bernard is asking, Sensei, is Beterbiev is that baddest man in boxing? You know what? He very well may be. He very well may be. I can tell you this, no one in his division is close to him. No one. If David Benavidez decides to move up to that division, he better wait for Artur Beterbiev to go on to greener pastures, because he will get beaten up like this man did tonight. Easily. Easily. Jeff, the producer's out there. What's good with you? Rich Richardson is in the building saying, salute, Stormy. I know I can't prove it yet, but Beterbiev on something. You know what? Rich Richardson, you don't know a good fighter when you see him. See, that's what it's come to. Because you got so many guys out here. I just said earlier in my opening monologue that there are so many fighters who do cheat that it's hard to make a distinction, because fighters who live a certain kind of lifestyle, like this man, Artur, a devout Muslim who does not drink, smoke, do drugs, a family man, doesn't watch boxing, doesn't talk boxing, doesn't deal with boxing until they've called him and say, we've got to fight. And then he gets ready. Like he said, he listens to his cornermen and their game plans, and he goes out to execute. You can look at his body and you can tell that that man is strong. That's his build. If you ever watch video of his workouts. But when you see a lot of the fluff and puff, it's easy to get dismayed and also be blinded by what's significant. It's just like when people watch this content on YouTube. There's plenty of garbage out there, but there's some really good stuff out here too. But the garbage kind of clutters up the airwaves and the roadways, the pathways. And because it's in abundance, you kind of gravitate toward it. Instead of, raking your plate, getting rid of the fat, eating healthy, you're gluttons for the bad stuff. It happens. It happens. Sylvester is asking who had the better performance, Callum or Yard? Yard. Yard. Yard was trying to win and still take care of himself at the same time. Callum was defiant in what the threat of Arthur was, and he took greater punishment as a result of it. It was Yard's people that stopped the fight. Callum was going to get knocked spark out. Buddy McGirt was no help. Their game plan was all wrong. Yeah. Queen 71 is in the building. What's going on? She says, salute everyone listening while working. What's happening, Queen? Shower says, and Billy is steadily improving too. Yeah, he's a little Tasmanian monster in there. And Billy. That boy he was fighting was just an idiot though. That guy just wanted to, show that he was tough. But tough guys get hurt in boxing. And Billy put plenty of hurt on that guy. I wouldn't be surprised if that guy went to the hospital after that fight. He may as well have been a heavy bag with arms and legs. Murdoch. He called himself sticking his tongue out at one point early in the fight, and Billy hit him while he was doing that. I was like, oh my God, this guy is going to be. And did you see his face after 3 or 4 rounds? I mean, and Billy was putting it on that boy and was enjoying it. Wow. Shawa says, I don't think he is. I think he's very disciplined. Absolutely. I'm telling you, Shawa, I know the difference. I know the difference. Message to my chat. Anytime you see Champy come out here, please remove Champy and his comments from my chat. Wrenches. My wrenches. That's not a friend. Yeah, Shawa, I'm sure you can see it because your eyes are open. You have the ability to sit back and assess things properly. plus you listen to counsel. It's like when you take, suggested counsel and you can compare the information and make sound decisions for yourself, it's very consistent. It lines up. If Morrell gets in there with M. Billy, he gets beaten up. It'll be a test of wills after the first few rounds. Shower says, you're a great aid in my assessing, OG. Yeah, I can be. It's just unfortunate that a lot of people, want to show bias, prejudice, and bigotry toward that, but everybody ain't gonna make it. Kataro's messages were deleted, but he's not blocked. Thank Father. That's why you got to be more calculating with your, I asked you guys to remove Champion. You did that. You hit Kitaro. But you should have been hitting Champion when you saw him on site. But yet and still, I gotta ask people to do their job. Adewale M, you asking, I think that Morrell loses to M. Billy? Absolutely. 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 Morrell has been a product of having matchups that really accentuate all of his strengths, but he hasn't faced a challenge yet, a test yet. And Billy was in Fight of the Year candidate last year against Carlos Gongora. And Canelo and his people over the past year and a half, almost 2 years, haven't mentioned Christian and Billy. They have no intent of mentioning that guy. They hoping that nobody watched this ESPN broadcast tonight. But we did. Yeah, Shower, wasn't that a hell of a fight? Man, when I watched that fight, I was like, oh my God. That was like watching Hagler and Mugabe. That's how good that was. That's how good that was. Now going back to that bantamweight fight, the WBO title, where Jason Maloney took on Saul Sanchez. Man. Way to kick off the year, ESPN, with that matchup right there. Those two men were evenly matched. And had just enough power to not knock the other guy out, which made the fight even more exciting. Because Maloney had been stopped by Monster Inoue a couple years ago. However, they fought nip and tuck, man. Back and forth. They were trading rounds. And they were letting their hands go. Salute to Boxing Fan ×4 out there in that super chat. He says, Morrell seems like a front runner to me. Thank you for your super chat there, Boxing Fan. Morrell probably is. He probably is. Drink more water says some good fights tonight. Maloney and Beterbiev, all exciting fights. Yeah, definitely. Adewale thinks it was a draw. That wasn't a draw. It wasn't a draw. I'm going to tell you why it wasn't a draw to Stormy B-Man. And I've said this about some other fights. Go back and watch the fight. If you can't give the first round of that fight to Saul Sanchez, then you don't know what you're looking at in boxing. And I've said this about other fights. Because remember, the guy who's supposed to be the champ, the guy with the so-called name or whatever, the fighter you may be more familiar with, so forth and so on. If you can't give a round that was close like that to the opponent, Sanchez, then you don't know how to score a fight. Maloney had to make an adjustment to Sanchez by the second and third rounds because Sanchez took that first round. He was the aggressor. He was putting Maloney on the back foot and everything. And by second round, Maloney had to change it up a little bit right away. And he did. But it's very important to understand the assessment of a fighter's ability to be in control of things, to set a precedent, to go out there and be imposing. I gave Sanchez the last round because in that last minute, he turned it up again. The 12th round saw Maloney bullying into him, throw a couple of shots, but mostly trying to kill the clock. You see, you have to know what you're looking at. And as soon as Sanchez broke away from that foolishness and started letting his hands go, I'm like, okay, he's fighting in the 12th. Maloney was just trying to get through the 12th. Ikaro is back now, thank Father. He says, blessings for y'all as well. Shower says Sanchez won to me. That Australian tie was working. Yeah. Adewale says, Sensei, did you think Sanchez separated himself? Yes. Yes. But remember, if you look at the fighters, Maloney was beaten up. Yeah, Brian H. He says, I said the same thing about round 1 of Canelo versus Bivol. All 3 judges gave the round to Canelo inexplicably. Yeah, see, when the bell rings for the first round, the title is on the line. When the bell ends at the end of the fight, a champion is named. But during the course of the fight, they're fighting for the title. So if someone is competing with the champ, taking the champ to school, taking the round away from the champ and everything, why are you not crediting that fighter for doing what they're doing? Ikaro says, thank Father, thank for the gesture. I'm back for a while. Yeah. Jimmy Bernard is out there saluting Dr. Mark. Chi-Town Finest says, yeah, I had him winning. Shower says, Maloney was baloney. But I marked that fight as a fight of the year candidate. There are probably going to be better fights. But at that weight class, those 2 men were throwing down. And as even the announcers suggested, that's worthy of a second look, a rematch. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Yeah. The fight that kicked that kicked the card off for me was the rematch between Elizabeth Espinoza and Layla Badoun. I didn't see the first fight between these 2 ladies, but it was a women's super featherweight bout that really showed some skills by these 2 young women. If you go back to Layla Ali's era, there were no women boxing with the skill set that I saw from Layla Badoun tonight. Listen, y'all, I have to say this. I can't wait to see that little woman fight again. She was excellent in her footwork. She was excellent in her punch placement, her defense, the way she moved around the ring and scored, because Espinoza had a longer reach and was more rangy and a good jab and everything, but she couldn't find her. That girl was moving, boxing, punching, body work, headshots, counter shots. She was fighting better than a lot of fighters that are male. It was amazing to me. I have her on my radar now. I can't wait to see her again. Apparently, when they fought the first time, it was more of a battle of, toe to toe and banging. But she came in with a game plan tonight, which the announcers spoke about their first meeting, that they thought Espinosa thought she was going to come in and fight the same way or even fight harder that way. But no, she changed it up totally and won unanimously. I didn't give Espinosa a round in that fight. And it was a great display of boxing ability. Man, that was a great display. Yes. Thomas, what's good with you, brother? Jimmy Bernard says, Sensei, sorry for going back to Beterbiev, but that poll from yesterday was dead on. Hey, man, the Sensei was dead on, but never mind that, because it's not about being dead on. It's about giving you the information that you can make a proper assessment for yourself. But I told you guys that guy was going to get beaten up. Especially since they came out with those so-called claims that, he might be juicing or something like that. I was like, I don't even know why they would do something like that, because Callum, he already had, brought a butter knife to a fight where the other guy had a tank. And if you see, he couldn't do nothing against Canelo, right? This man is bigger, stronger, more powerful than Canelo. What were they thinking? Foolishness. Straight foolishness. Drink More Water says, speaking of female fighters, Sandy Ryan impressed me with her skill set versus McCaskill. Shame they robbed her. Yeah, she beat McCaskill, who refuses to use boxing skills. But she not bad. But she fight bad. Drink More Water says, definitely about being dead on when you're a degenerate like me. I hit on a 4 parlay over plus 3,400. Had Mbili for the KO and Beterbiev for the stoppage 5-8 on the slip. Boxing Fan says we need more info in regards to Beterbiev's tests. No, what you need to go back and study some highlight films of Artur Beterbiev's fights, man. That's what you need, huh? I ain't seen you write nothing about certain other fighters' tests, and there's plenty, huh? But again, you guys will look for drama when it ain't there. The drama was the ass whooping that Callum took tonight, huh? That was the drama. That was the drama, and rightfully so. A guy coming over there talking about it's his time and all of that, and he showed us who he really was when he was in there against Canelo. And on the pre-fight show, when they showed him interviewing and he was talking in the gym and stuff, he was like, I don't know, it wasn't my night and this and that or whatever. It definitely wasn't going to be your night tonight. You was in there with a killer. Canelo ain't no killer. This man is. General Zod sends people to hell. Huh? There are fighters out there that said they've been hit by a car and would rather get hit by the car again than to get hit by Artur Beterbiev. And Artur Beterbiev is not a knockout puncher with a single punch, but he'll break you in half. Huh? You know, it's funny. This is why you can't listen to everything and everybody. I can align my assessments based on observation of historical fights and the experience of being in the gym with people and working with fighters and things like that. But there's usually some foundation that things are, it's not just me talking. It could come across that way because I'm very casual sometimes in my delivery. Salute to TD. He just said, I like the way Stormy said that. However, sometimes I'll sprinkle humor in and sometimes I'll get dead serious. But at the same time, there was nothing, absolutely nothing about Callum Smith's abilities past that made me feel like he was going to have a present. He folded in the biggest fight of his life against Canelo. That was an opportunity of a lifetime because of Canelo's status in the sport. It's not that Canelo is so greatly good. It's just that position that he held, if you really wanted something, that was more important than Artur Beterbiev, because if you had done that, look at how Dmitry Bivol blew up after getting the decision victory over him. What passion did Callum Smith show against Canelo? He backpedaled all night, was up against the ropes, got pounded on, you know. He was just bent. And tonight he got broken. He'll never be the same. Never. Salute to Boxing Fan. ×4 again in that super chat. He says, I see the power and skills. He is a beast. Just very odd to me that he had those spikes in HGH and testosterone at his age. Testosterone, excuse me. That can be explained medically. Mr. Chris Algieri explained it on Pro Box TV this week, just a couple days ago. Thank you for the super chat. Drink More Waters in the super chat as well. He says, Bivol in big trouble, if you ask me. He was supposed to get rid of Artur, but the power isn't there. That's going to be a huge issue versus Beterbiev. Listen, man, I've been telling you guys for the past couple of years, all these people that's been hollering about Bivol. That boy is going to be crushed when he fights Artur. They sparred together years ago. I told this story. John Scully was on my channel. We had a conversation about it. Why do you think Dmitry has gone a different direction all this other time? He's not really big enough to go up to cruiserweight. He could drop down to super middleweight and compete better than he can to go up to cruiserweight. And for the less informed, Dmitry Bivol can't punch. He can't punch. And he's been on the canvas by lesser fighters. And he will definitely be on the canvas against Artur Beterbiev. Mark that down. Keep telling you guys, there used to be a great deal of discussion in the sport of boxing years ago before social media and all of this. They would talk about contenders and they would talk about pretenders. And in today's sport, with social media, it's very difficult to be able to make the distinction between the two, because the pretenders sometimes get all of the pub and get all of the hype and all of the promotion and all of that. And the real contenders get lost in the shuffle. Christian and Billy's, get lost in the shuffle. Guys who deserve their opportunity, Tim Tszyu, those guys. Now, I've never really been high on Tim Tszyu, but Jermell Charlo, being a former undisputed champ now, he should have fought Tim Tszyu. Instead of kept putting the guy off, instead of step aside and all of that foolishness, should have fought that man. You've turned him into somebody that he may not have truly been. For what? A crushed reputation now? And yeah, you got a few dollars in the bank now from fighting Canelo, but it won't repair that rep now. And when you die, you can't take it with you, And ain't nobody gonna talk about you unless they talking about what you did. And that ain't nothing to hold your head up about. Healer is in the building. What's going on, Healer? I see you out there, bro. Salute to you as well. Ryan H. said he fought Canelo with one arm and went all 12. He looked like he was in a car accident after 2 or 3 rounds with Beterbiev and got stopped. People need to stop tripping. Yeah. I'd agree with that. Bivol gonna look like he's in a train wreck. Sure will. Copper Aborigines in the building. What's going on with you, OG? Oh, they drink more water. They're going to make the odds close because there's a serious backing for Bivol. But it's going to be a lot of red eyes and wet noses and empty Kleenex boxes on the night of. I'm just telling you. Just like in the Callum locker room. Buddy McGirt. They should have been showing Beterbiev all the respect that they could. Oh, he's an outstanding fighter. He's the man of the division. We like to go in there and test ourselves against him and everything. No, they was like, yeah, maybe he's on something. Yeah, maybe that's why. And you know what? I can punch pretty damn good myself at light heavyweight. You knocked out a couple of bums. Arthur been knocking out the top dudes in the sport. Mac of this Mac of the South. That is not gonna be a war, bro. It is not. It's gonna be like when... No, I ain't even gonna say that because I'm gonna make people mad. And I don't feel like making folks mad tonight, even though I done made some mad anyway, so I don't care. Anthony Bolton, get well, bro. Get well. It's going around. I'm still on the recovery myself. Kitaro, let me tell you this about Beterbiev too. He's one of the few fighters in the sport of boxing where age is not going to be a factor for him. It's not. It's not. He's preserved. It makes a difference. Copper says, I want a Canelo versus Beterbiev. Hey, you want to see Canelo get crushed to the earth. You want to see Canelo just battered and beaten and deleted. Put Canelo in there against Christian and Billy. That'll be a more competitive fight. That'd be a guy that can probably bring a good fight out of Canelo. I won't give him Billy 100% victory over that, but I do believe that it would be a darn good fight. T. Berry. Beterbiev has no desire to go up to cruiserweight, and Opataya has desires to go to heavyweight. So it's very unlikely to entertain that. But there are still fights at 175 for Beterbiev, and there are fights at 195 for Opataya. So let's see those guys take on their challenges. Hari Nation Sports Podcast in the building. What's happening? Anthony Bolton is calling him Wolverine. We call him General Zod, Anthony Bolton. Not Wolverine. We call him General Zod. And he's definitely a Punisher. He could be the Punisher as well. Copper must have threw down a couple of them beverages, huh? Coming in there talking like that. Canelo has challenges, all right. But I think he'll find an exit stage left before he get in there with some of these guys that you talking about. Drink more water. You may be on to something there, bro. You may be on to something there. Boxing fan times 4. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Shawa, that's a good idea. He should go for undisputed. But see, the IBF snatched their belt for him because he fought over there on that Saudi card. So he probably don't even want to fight for the IBF no more. So he could go after one of those other titleists, you know, or rematch Breeders like he should. He should rematch Breeders. Copper says, I'm a strong believer in Canelo versus Beterbiev is a good fight. That Mexican fan base will fill up the arena. And they'll fill up the funeral home too, because they're going to have to, you know, have final rights for Canelo if he decide to take that fight. Jimmy Bernard, hell no. Hell no. You keep dreaming. That boy drinking bottles of NyQuil. You ain't passed out yet? Soul Power. Hey, I told you, didn't I? Didn't I tell you, Soul Power? Hey man, that's a sleeper, right? Tell me it's not. Yeah, Brian H. Jack O'Halloran. Yep, absolutely. But no, he's the general. Kneel! I see that you are practicing worshiping things that fly. Good. Mind of Mansamusa says, I'm on the highway laughing. Listen, man, I'm trying to make this Billy fight versus Canelo, but Copper keeps stepping in, trying to throw General Zod in there with him, man. I was waiting for a follow-up comment from Soul Power on what he was talking about, man. I tell you, man, I be having those bases covered, man. I be having them covered. Brian H., that has never happened. I'm telling you, he's one of the few fighters that age doesn't. It's not going to be a factor for him. It's not. You see, he really didn't take any punishment tonight. He keeps himself in exceptional shape. And the fighters that are his contemporaries don't bring what he brings to the ring. Oh, thank Father, I'm certain they do. They got the same trainer. I'm certain they've worked in the gym together. I'm certain. Dan Aziz, who's getting ready to fight Joshua Buatsi, has worked with Beterbiev in the gym. And boy, he has talked about what it's like. There's a YouTube short out there with him talking about it. Him and several other guys training with Beterbiev. They say, man, each guy does like 2 or 3 rounds with him. He was like, but you take them first, then you come in and you do this, and then you come, and then I go in. It's like he's talking about, man. They talking about Arthur is a beast in that gym, man. And Dan Aziz and Joshua Buatsi got a fight coming up in February. So that's a good fight. The original fight date was postponed due to Aziz having a injury of some sort. So now they're gonna get it on. Looking forward to that because those are 2 close friends, and usually guys who are friends, when they end up having to fight professionally, those fights turn out better than guys who are blood enemies. So that's going to be very interesting. Light heavyweight fight between Dan Aziz and Joshua Buatsi. Salute to Maji Barodi, just subscribe to the channel. Salute to you. Welcome to the Stormy B-Man Storm Trackers. Yeah. Lou Hinton, what's happening? What's happening? Copper says Canelo will use that Mexican style, fighting stand still and fire. No, he'll stand still and his ass will be on fire because he gonna get burnt, scorched. And his silk pajamas. Huh? Rashid Rourke says, peace, my brother Stormy. Peace to everyone. I like how Arthur shut Tim Bradley's ass up though. How about that, huh? Don't you like when Tim Bradley be wrong, huh? Oh, he still got the kind of power that could get Beterbiev. Oh, he's down. Rashid Rourke is asking, Stormy, how do you rate in Billy's defense? He doesn't have it. His defense is his offense. He likes to get in somebody's grill and go to work, man. That's his strength. He moves a little bit, but not enough for my taste. But hey, he's exciting, you know. Drink More Water says they fired the wrong guy. Ward should have stayed. No, they didn't fire the wrong guy. I mean, they Tim, the butter biscuits, you know. What's that 78 say? Y'all ain't got none of them more biscuits? Yeah. They kept the right guy around. Mascot. There you go, Copper. Absolutely. What a chump, man. I don't think he's entertaining at all. I think he sounds like a milk dud, if you ask me. A talking milk dud. Tim might as well have on a clown suit when he's sitting on the studio stage, man. Listen, they always have poor representation of your folks on TV, man. He's just the latest, that's all. He's just one of the latest. He talked about Callum Smith having an opportunity to upset Beterbiev all night long. And when Callum got killed in there, his microphone went mute. Copper is really tripping tonight, man. He says, we got to push for a Canelo versus Beterbiev fight so we can hear Tim talk. Oh my goodness, man. I could just hear him now. I can hear him now. That'll be crazy. That would be real crazy. Could you imagine the foolishness that would be coming out of his mouth leading up to the first round? Because, you know, after that, it's curtains. But it's like the stuff he would be saying, man. Oh, my goodness. Y'all think that Callum went to the hospital tonight? I do. ER. Where was that jab at, huh? B-Max says emergency room. That's right. See, those ESPN rocket scientists, they never mentioned how small the ring was for Callum to not be able to get the hell away from Arthur. That should have been the death knell right there. Huh? If you can't get out of the ocean, man, the shark's gonna get you, huh? Drink more water. That ain't even gonna cover what Buddy is stealing from him being a trainer. I could have advised him better than what Buddy did. I mean, that was atrocious, man. Minder Manson says he went to the police station first. I don't know why, huh? He thought it was his time tonight. I knew it was his time, all right. It was his time to get his ass whooped. And it's just like, you know, some people didn't see it, man, but I saw it. I saw it, man. It was clear as day, man. It was clear as day. Well, drink more water. My thoughts on Callum was this. The way he performed against Canelo told me all I needed to know about him. At no point in that fight was he trying to win. He just survived. Now you're in with a killer. Yeah, he tried to fight Beterbiev. All that did was just help him get opened up to more punishment. Did you see his face after the fight? Arthur didn't have a mark on him, and Callum's face looked like a Picasso. That's right, Shower. I said it. I want to hear all these guys that was making these videos, these other big channels, you know, like the Fight Hypes and all of that. I want to hear all of their retractions and everything now. Oh, I was wrong. You know, I'm like, man, what are y'all looking at, bro? Because there's still a sentiment, a swell of people that don't like Beterbiev. They just don't like him, whether it's because he's Russian or whether it's because he's Caucasian or whether it's just that he wear all black. I don't know, but it's like, you can't see that this guy's a damn good fighter. Copper says they quit, Stormy. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, they silent, man. You drink more water. Man, you crazy as hell. Get out of here. You crazy. Shower says, yep, everyone kept saying he was getting beat for various reasons. I just shook my head. Yeah, Shower, they were saying this stuff, man. I don't know, man. Callum got that reach. You know, he's bigger and he's this and he's that. I'm like, dude, he could have came in there with a 357, aluminum Louisville slugger, and a hand grenade, and he still would have got stopped. He still would have got stopped. Shit. Rasheed Work says, yeah, I thought I was underrating Callum because people were picking him. I couldn't see why. Man, let me tell you something. This is how you know. This is how you know that it's a lot of people that, what's the words that Roger Mayweather used to say? Don't know crap about boxing? Man. Man, he was hitting him so fierce, though, Copper. He was hitting him so fierce, and it was like he was trying to put on his poker face, right? I'm talking about Callum now. He was trying to be poker faced about it. But when he would drop his hands down to protect his body, he left his face open for Arthur. And he was beaten up, bro. He was beaten up. He may have well had his hands tied behind his back. Yeah, buddy. You know why that was, Shower? That was because Arthur cut the distance down on his ass because they weren't versed in understanding that he has good footwork. They didn't anticipate that. They thought he was just going to stay on the outside and they were going to use that reach on him and keep him on the outside boxing. Man, Arthur got in on that. You know, you ever had a bad rainstorm and you get out of your car and you trying to run into the house? You know how fast you get in the house to get out that rain? That's how fast Arthur got inside on Callum. Just before he could uncork the jab, he was in his chest. Yeah, and sometimes it's like he get on the inside just to show you he can, and he bop you several times in your ribs and your liver and your kidney, and then he'll get back on the outside as if to, admire his work. Mugs be nervous. They be like, shit, is he coming? Is he coming? Huh? It's like, man, Arthur be like, man, I'm going to play with my food a little bit. Take this chopping right on the side of the head. Fat! Hey, how many times did Callum go down tonight, y'all? I lost count. How many times did he hit the canvas? I said what, 7 through 9, something like that in my breakdown video. Was it twice? Drink more water? It seemed like he was on the canvas like 10 times. To me. Look at it, man. And here go Buddy getting in the ring, waving it off. You know how Buddy waved it off? Buddy waved it off like he was in church and they was talking about the one member in the church that didn't tithe or something, and he was waving his hand like, that ain't me, It's like, you want us to stop it? Buddy was like, waving it off like, man, go in there and run and pick your guy up or something, man. You waving it off like you all distant from him and everything. See, he should have knocked you out too. There you go, Brian H. There you go. TD Sports is cracking up. B-Mac says, you got jokes. I always got jokes, man. My jokes be ready to fire like Clint Eastwood, bro. Let me tell you something about my jokes, huh? Sometimes they make you mad, huh? I had people get mad at me, huh? Don't even want to come around and support Stormy or nothing and everything. They get mad, huh? But hey, everybody ain't gonna make it. Copper says, you saw that too? Yeah, I saw that, man. Buddy was like, no, that, it's like somebody asked him, hey, man, is this your baby? No, that ain't mine. That ain't mine. Get away. Get that away from me. Is this your fighter? No. But you know it's all love and fun, right, Shower? You know I ain't mean-spirited, but you know some people, they don't, you know, but they like to kick you around, you know, but that's, you know. Thing about it is I'm equal opportunity, you know, the ladies, the guys, the trolls, you know, the members, it don't matter, subs, strangers, you know. I even talk about myself sometimes, so it's like, hey, I'm equal opportunity out here, huh? That's why I don't understand why, you know, well, I do understand, but I'm just going to say, you know, it's a genuine thing. If you come around and you show, you know, that you a part of what's happening and everything, I welcome you with open arms. You know, if you don't want to be like that, hey, you know, I welcome you with steel-toe Timbs, huh? Yeah! That's right, Shaw. You gotta fight back, you know? Master Booster said your jokes be hitting like Arthur. Yeah. Y'all see me put my championship hardware around my desk down there? I said I'll add that for the new year. Since we in the era of undisputeds, huh? We got these guys collecting these trinkets. I said Stormy gotta put his belts around there too. Yeah, they're positioned different on the Friday night chop session studio shower, but I got them on there as well. I guess you be tuning in. You don't even be recognizing I be changing up my studio sets. Each show got a different set. Details. It's in the details. Man, so many people out there tonight, man. So many. Y'all realize I had almost 800 people in here tonight? Almost 800 people. Yeah, shower. Yep. But they come, you see. They come. I hear you, master. I hear you. See that? That's one of those moments, shower, where I say, much to learn you still have. You see, I said that to somebody, they got mad one time. It's like, man, it's like, dang, girl, you so sensitive, man. It's like, people be like, you know, when we was growing up, man, we used to talk about each other and everything, play the dozens and everything. Man, that build character, bro. You can't be all sensitive like that. Like, man, you can't talk to me like that. I'm a man. Really? Well, take your dress off and show us, you know? It's like, damn. Shit. We're not supposed to be easy reads. We're men of depth, huh? Easy reads are for the remedial section, huh? But nonfiction is where you find us, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I think it's time to hear from my man, the Focus Ball, huh? What you think?
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, Get yourself a focus ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a focus ball. When you train with the focus ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the focus ball now.
Yeah, Copper, I agree with that, man. 1000%. I'll agree with that 1000%, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But hey, those who rock with me solid and strong, I appreciate you every bit. You have no idea, huh? And I do what I do for those of you, huh? It's like all I need is a handful, and a handful can definitely make a difference in the world. You know, it lets me know that I'm not alone. I can tell you that much. Yeah. But we're gonna get on up out of here. It's been a great post-fight show. We covered these fights for this evening. Listen, we got more boxing talk coming tomorrow. Call-in show. And we got a big fight coming up next Saturday. Natasha Jonas taking on Michaela Mayer. I'm telling you, the hits just keep on coming, and we look forward to it. We really do. And I want to say thanks for all the super chats, the new subscriptions, subscribers this evening, and the endorsement of being able to come out here and talk about this was a good card tonight, believe it or not, for ESPN and Top Rank, first one of the year. I'm appreciative of what they brought us. And, hopefully we get more. Hopefully we get more. And let's keep lining them up and knocking them down. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace to everybody. Stay safe out there.